Hello, welcome to our September Consciousness Update. I'm Grandmother Jonette Crowley, and September is the topic for September is from domination to self-determination. And Mark channeled that a golden doorway to a new world is open. Are you willing to give up your smallness to walk through? So we're really in this shift from an external command and control environment that we've been in for thousands of years to personal empowerment, to self-determination. But it's not the self-determination from ego, it's self-determination from the higher self. This is really a shift of ages where we move from ego-driven reality that has led to domination to spirit-guided reality. And that's this shift that some people call we're moving from the age of darkness to the Satya Yuga. These are ages that last 23,000 years. And we're really moving into this new age, this golden age. Some people call it the age of Aquarius. What's interesting in astrology is that in March 2023, Pluto moved into Aquarius after having been in Capricorn for decades. And September 1st, a week ago, Pluto moved back into Capricorn. So let's look at that. It's as if for the last period, for the last year and a half, we were in Aquarius. Aquarius is the energies of, Pluto is the energies of transformation, of power, of transcendence. And it was in Aquarius. And so we were grasping that light. We were living in tasting that light for a year and a half. Well, a week ago on September 1st, Pluto went retrograde back into Capricorn. And I'm not usually into astrology, but I can feel this change. So for the next 2.5 months, Pluto's retrograde. So it's like we're going back into this period of domination, but we're bringing in the light of self-determination that we've been beginning to experience. Because probably all of you have had some major breakthroughs in the last year and a half. Not always easy breakthroughs. In fact, almost often not easy breakthroughs, but you are different than you were 2 years ago in many important ways. So we're taking that light now. For the next 2.5 months, we're back in the old structures. So what that is really a breaking down of this period of domination, external domination. It's a cultural shift. So what Mark has said is this rapid change cracks open our old bubbles. Our old bubbles were small, but we were used to them. They're secure. So this month especially, you're going to feel opportunities for growth, and they may not always be the easy ones. So a couple opportunities to look for in this month to make sure you're getting the most out of these energies, these accelerating energies, is look at where you've been in domination. You've been allowing yourself to be in command and control. The first thing to look at is to question your hamster wheel. Where have you been on a hamster wheel? You're used to it, so you might not even question it. So this is a time where you're supported in jumping off out of your comfort zone. Even if our hamster wheel isn't very comfortable, even if it drives us crazy, we're comfortable going around. This is really a time to question that. I say jump off your hamster wheel because I'm sure you've had times when you've been pushed off your hamster wheel It works just the same. I was thinking as I was writing my notes for this that I got pushed off of my hamster wheel when I was 26 years old and was the executive director of an international not-for-profit. And after a year, I got fired. And I thought I had everything set up. And when I got fired, I took my backpack and hitchhiked around Australia and New Zealand, changing my life. So it doesn't matter how old you are, the hamster wheel needs to be questioned. And this is really the time where you're supported to do it. It is easier to jump off yourself than being pushed off. The second thing that gets you out of domination, which is again the ego-based society we've been in for 20,000 years, is blame nothing. Let that be your mantra. Blame nothing. Not your past, not your parents, not your ex-husband. And really be conscious of vanquishing the victim mentality that crawls up in our brain and makes its little nest there. And how do you know you have a victim mentality? Because you might not think so. Is where you feel helpless. So helplessness is a indicator of a victim mentality. The other one is anger. Where you are angry means you are somehow a victim. So look at those, and it's really a choice of saying no more excuses. One thing that I found very helpful was the trilogy, the healing trilogy that I channeled last month. It was channeled on August 19th for the super blue full moon. And it was a lunar portal. It was a trilogy of called Stripping the Stories. These are activations that I do several times a year. That you don't have to do it just on that full moon, but I want to tell you what happened for me because it was so powerful about these energies now. When the full moon lined up, the next morning I meditated and I could feel that portal of stripping the stories, stripping the domination. And this green light, like the aurora borealis, green with tinges of pink, was around the moon. And then it shot into me like an electric volt, like being hit by lightning, actually. And it changed my structure. And I could feel that it was an amazing healing. And I could feel that aura able to increase my ability to heal others. I say this because if you have not done that trilogy, every time we do these activations, they get stronger. Please do it. Stripping the stories, it gets us out of our excuses, out of our domination, back into self-determination. So, ways to remind yourself to be back into your presence is silent time. Practice emptiness. It's not easy. It is a practice. From that space, you can move from your small self to your greater spiritual power, potential, grace. And from there, you are into determining your life, creating your life, irrespective of what happens outside you. And I mentioned the word grace. Tomorrow, we start Mark's class, part 3 of grace. And this is a channel class that's 8 classes, a channel course that's 8 classes long, starting tomorrow. And it's called Grace, the Power of Creation. So that energy of grace is the energy of this Aquarian age. It is the flow that we are moving into, that we're creating ourselves for. So please consider if you want to be part of our Mark class on grace. And even if you don't take the entire course, we give the first class out for free. So that will be recorded tomorrow. It will be on our website by Tuesday. And you can listen to Mark's recorded class of Grace 1 for free. So it's a powerful time. We are moving from old structures that have kept us controlled to, I call it self-determination, but it's just a greater space, this cultural shift of moving from an old age to a new age, to this golden age. The door is open. And I want to read what Mark just channeled. I was invited to give a prediction for 2025, a channeled prediction for the Sedona Journal, the Sedona Journal of Emergence. So it will be out in November online. And it's interesting. They haven't contacted me for probably 15 years. So yesterday I channeled Mark for what he says about the end of 2024 and 2025. And I'm not going to read the whole thing because that's going to be part of the article. But this is how he ended. The hallmarks of the change will be when people stop blaming others and once again harness the power to create reality. Reality is more flexible than you know. The nimbleness and speed with which reality can change as consciousness opens is spectacular. This shift of ages takes people back to connection, and connection takes people back to love. All of this reconnects humanity with the greater multidimensional omniverse. Humanity has been in a bubble for its own protection. As this bubble bursts, there will be difficulties, but it bursts into a much bigger bubble. This is a time for looking forward. So you all, this month, September 22nd, is the equinox. So that's always a time where the world stands still, where everything is in balance. So please make your own ritual on September 22nd for balance, for self-determination, for self-empowerment, and for that for everyone. And the other date that's important, although it's in October, is October 2nd. October 2nd is Rosh Hashanah. It's the beginning of the Jewish New Year, the High Holy Days. But this year, October 2nd is also a Ring of Fire solar eclipse. You won't see it unless you're on Easter Island or in the Pacific. But this Ring of Fire solar eclipse is again a vital portal. Please, on October 2nd, during that eclipse, connect with me. I'm going to be with a small group of people at the Great Pyramid and at the Sphinx on that eclipse day. I won't be transmitting anything, but October 2nd. And the next time we'll have our consciousness update is Sunday, October 6th, when I'll be at the medicine wheel with the grandmothers in New Hampshire. So I want to thank Morgan McKenna of originsastrologer.com, because I don't know anything about astrology, and she really gives me the backbone of what's happening in the stars. So be blessed this year. It's really about self-determination from your higher self, moving out of victimhood, moving into your power, and holding this golden gate open while we change the world. Thank you. Hope to see you at the Mark class tomorrow.